Complaining about debt doesn't make it disappear. It actually makes it louder. And in this video, I'm going to share how I broke the cycle of frustration and turned my energy into progress. Some of the things you will learn: how complaining keeps you stuck in a negative mindset, the simplest mindset shift that helped me take control, why action, not emotion, is the key to getting out of debt, and this isn't about guilt, it's about growth, because you cannot complain your way to financial freedom, but you can actually build your way there, right? Amazing. Think about that. Hi, it is your friend Eva, and today we're going to talk about how complaining keeps you stuck and how to get out of it. So, all right. So perfect. Let's be honest, being in debt is hard. And when you're frustrated, broke, tired, you know what? Complaining feels justified. It actually feels a little good. You want someone to understand. You want to vent, Listen, I get it. I totally get it. I've done that too. When I first started paying off my debt, look, I complained all the time, like interest rates, credit card companies, my job, my paycheck, like you name it. Like if I could complain about it, I would. And I thought the venting was harmless. All it did was like keep me focused on how unfair I thought everything was. None of it was my fault. And then one day I realized something. My complaining was not changing anything, and I was no longer feeling good about complaining. My balances weren't going down, my stress wasn't going away, and the more I complained, the more powerless I felt. It was like I was handing my energy over to the very thing I wanted to escape from: my debt. So, according to Robin Sharma, what you focus on grows, what you think about expands, and what you dwell upon determines your destiny. Like, wow. Um, Damn. At first, I didn't want to hear that because honestly, I wanted to be mad. I felt like I deserved to be mad. I got into debt because I was laid off and couldn't find a new job. And I applied everywhere, like every opening in my field, even retail jobs, but they won't hire you if they think you're going to leave. So keep that in mind when the trolls like put their comments, whatever. Like that sense of unfairness felt like protection, but really, you know what? It wasn't protection. It was a cage. A turning point was when I came to realize that debt is not a moral failure. It's a math problem. I stopped seeing myself as a victim and started seeing myself, as the main character of my story. Like I'm the one that gets to fix it because no one is coming to save you. You need to save yourself. All right. There is no man, no like lottery win, no, money truck breaking down in front of your house. Like you need to save yourself. Complaining gives the problem the power. Action takes that power back. So I decided to stop talking about my unfair debt and, started doing something about it. I made a plan. I faced the numbers, which was hard. And I started paying a little extra, a little $20 here and there. And I started this channel for accountability. And look, this didn't happen overnight. It wasn't like, I'm on the train home from the city, like, I need to change my mindset. Like it's a process. So keep that in mind. So eventually I shifted from like, why me, to what's my next step? And that tiny shift was amazing. And look, here's the truth about mindset and money and life. They all go hand in hand. They do. So the next time you say, I'll never get out of debt, your brain believes you and it stops looking for solutions. But when you say, I'm figuring this out, your brain will go to work finding ways to make that true. Look, the words you speak shape your actions like they do. And once I changed that, suddenly a contract position pretty much just like opened up. And when you say, I'm figuring this out, your brain will go to work to find ways to make that true. The words you speak shape the actions you take. And that happened to me. I found out about a contract position and at first I'm like, oh no, I can't do that. I can't do that. And finally I'm like, no, I can do that. And it was at my friend's company and we talked about it and she knows my story. So, it went from there and I did the job and that led to another and another and another. And I've got like stuff lined up, which is so exciting, exhausting, but exciting. And I'm getting out of debt faster than I thought possible. So it's great now that when I talk about my debt, it's not with defeat, like it's with power. My balances are going down, my confidence is going up, and again, I'm picking up more contract work. And every small payment I make is proof that I'm not stuck. I am moving forward. I am. Some people might not think it's fast enough. Others might think it's too fast. You can never make everyone happy. So if you're complaining about your debt, I want you to hear this with love. You're not wrong for feeling frustrated, but don't unpack and live there. Your debt does not define you. Your decisions do. Stop giving your energy to the problem and start giving it to the plan, to the solution, because you can't complain your way out of debt. But you can absolutely think, plan, and act your way out. What you focus on grows. What you think about expands. What you dwell upon determines your destiny. So I chose to focus on opportunity, on abundance, and financial freedom. And that's where I'm headed.